Hey, how you doing, guys? How are you? How are you today? Hello, Kumar, Felix. Hello, Brax, Mr. Hans, Mr. B-Boy. What's up, Luke? Hello, Brett. Yo. Hello, Declan. How are you? How are you? Hey, Declan. Just a question. Did you watch yesterday's trade review? Because I think I answered your questions over your email on the trade review. Just you're not sure if your questions were after the trade review or because you didn't watch it. So if you still have questions, I can go over your email. But if you are if you are done with that, it's good to go. Right? Hello, Eileen, Uncle Max, Global. Hello, Mehari. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Let's get started. All right. Hello, Lilia. All right. So before we go to the charts, right? Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something because this happened to several of you. How many times have you taken a trade and you already knew it wasn't aligned with your plan? How many times? Let me tell you something, guys. That's not a knowledge issue. That's an execution breakdown, right? And that's the difference between knowing and actually performing, all right? What we are doing here every day, what we are doing here every day on this exercise, on this daily exercise, is building awareness around that, right? Around this execution gap, right? But the awareness alone doesn't fix it, right? You need a system. And that's exactly what we are building in the EOS workshop, all right? A complete execution structure. So, if you have been inconsistent for a while, this is probably the missing piece, right? Details are on the link pinned to the chat. If you can just link on there, it's workshop.tradingperformancecoach.com. Please go review it after the session, right? Go review it after the session, right? Let's get into the chart. Let's get into the chart. This is not an advertising. This is not an advertising. All right. So, guys, do you remember when we talked about 3% moves a few weeks ago? And we said like, "Oh, well, that's new. That's new. I've never seen something like this. This is extremely rare. This is extremely unusual." Guys, look at this. 656, 656, all the way to 678. 22 points. It was more than 3%. Okay? More than 3%. And guys, I'm really excited about this because guys, do you know who Jesse Livermore was? You know who Jesse Livermore was? Well, for some people, Jesse Livermore has been the best or the greatest trader in history, right? And Jesse Livermore used to say that every everything that you see in the market has already happened before and it's gonna happen again. All right. And I don't know why I'm so excited about that. It's just like, yeah, this is the kind of things like when you are younger and your dad is always saying like, hey, watch out with this, watch out on that, and you are like, oh, dad, come on, I mean, I already know everything. What can you teach me? And suddenly it happens exactly the way your dad told you. Well, I feel like this is one of these things, right? Like when Jesse Livermore said, everything you see today in the market has already happened before and it's about to happen in the future. Guys, this is the perfect example of that. This is the perfect example of that. All right. So more than 3% move on the overnight. And well, the good news is that we were prepared. The good news is that we execute that system and we don't get scared by anything, right? By anything. So we have our key levels here. We have our key levels on the daily chart. We have a few key levels here, the blue lines. But also I came here and started drawing some old friends here, right? Some old key levels from the previous weeks. And that was the easiest part. I just went to my post from a few weeks ago, started looking at the key levels that were relevant at that time before these huge drops, before these huge drops, before these huge drops, before these huge move. And that's it, guys. That's what it's kind of funny for me, right? It's just price is just following one liquidity level to the other, right? It's so funny looking at everything changes, guys, and this is super important because this has been majority of the questions from the past sessions. Neto, what do you mean? What do you mean with liquidity? All right. Actually, this morning I was discussing this with a trader from one of the communities, from a mastermind community that I am part of, and he was telling me like, Neto, I took two losses today because I don't get the liquidity concept here, and it's like, guys, it's just go to the, I mean, don't overcomplicate this. All right, don't overcomplicate this. Liquidity is just where buyers and sellers are interacting, right? So in a chart like this one that you have in front of you, liquidity, it's seen as a key level, right? I mean, right here, look at this right here. It was buyers showing up, but sellers reacting here. So this is an important key level. And again, I mean, this key level is coming from here. And what can you see here? I mean, this is buyers stepping in, this is sellers stepping in, this is sellers stepping in, this is buyers stepping in. So liquidity areas or liquidity points are not other than areas of strong interaction between buyers and sellers, right? Or supply demand, right? Or support and resistance, right? So guys, don't try to overcomplicate these concepts, right? Don't try to overcomplicate the most things that you want to add to your analysis is not gonna get easier, right? I mean, don't overcomplicate, all right? Don't overcomplicate. Now, if we go to the 1 minute chart, I want to show you this, all right? I want to show you this. What is this area here around 676.20 and 35? What is this area telling us? Buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in. So what is, I mean, what is this area telling you guys? This is a relevant area for buyers and sellers. And Neto, why sellers again? I don't get why sellers, why this is an important area for sellers. Well, because sellers are showing somewhere here around 677, and they say, all right, I mean, I'm not gonna let you pass here, but I'm gonna take you back to where I can accept you to be. All right. So that's why we were bouncing. We were bouncing right here on this area here, around a little bit higher than 677, 676. Right. So This is an important liquidity point. Why? Because there are a lot of people interested on interacting here, right? Next liquidity level. This one here. Why this is important, guys? Why? Because look at this sharp move, sharp bounce right here. What does it mean? Well, it means that this is an area that buyers are decided to defend. All right, buyers are decided to push price higher from here. All right, okay. What is the next liquidity area? Look at this. Look at this. Sellers were rejecting this area here, 674. All right, rejected here. I mean, first we had this break, but then we use it as a support, and then we use it as resistance, resistance, resistance. So this is an area of interest for sellers, right? For sellers. So we draw a box here. What is the next liquidity level, guys? This one here. Why? Because this was resistance, and then it was used as support. So this is a relevant area for both buyers and sellers, right? But look, I love drawing these pre-market zones since you have introduced them, especially on these gap updates. Exactly. All right, look at this. I hidden the price action from today. What is the next relevant area here, guys? Well, obviously this one here, 672. Let's say it's 672. Okay, let's draw our box here. And now let's go to today's price action. Damn it. I mean, guys, are you playing with me? Are you doing this on purpose? Look at this. I mean, price is simply going from one liquidity level to the other, right? And now, this is a really important comment. David, are you here? David Fernandez, are you here on the session? Hello, Gun. Hello, Nathan. David, are you here? Just say yes or no. Maybe not. All right. Don't worry. David, if you watch this episode later, this comment was for your questions. All right. Okay, guys. So David was asking me, Neto, I really like these rejections here on the 5 minute. All right, guys, I like them too. But starting, let's say we were here. All right, let's say we were here. Price was opening here. Price was dancing around these two liquidity levels. So guys, it doesn't feel, and this is just my impression, right? It doesn't feel like this is just the middle between this area here and this area here. Doesn't it feel like that? Like this 5 minute opening range? I mean, yes, it's around these nice rejections here, but it doesn't feel like you are just in the middle of something. This guys, this is a question for you all. I mean, please answer in the chat. Doesn't it feel like this is just in the middle of everything? And that's why I was telling him, you know what? At the very beginning, thank you, Mr. Hans. Thank you, Lakewood. I was telling him at the very beginning of the session, the only thing that I was interested here is the break of the pre-market low, retest, and continuation to the downside. Why? Because we only had this piece of information, right? Because we only had this piece of chart, all right? But then, okay, Uh, next candle here, next candle here, next candle here. Okay, now, okay. Well, now it's showing something relevant. All right, it's showing something relevant. Why? Because it's revisiting this liquidity level. Now I'm interested, right? Now I'm interested. Why? Because we are revisiting this liquidity level. All right. So now I'm interested if it can't reclaim something like this. Then now I will be interested on this liquidity level or this move here being the retest and then continuation where to the next liquidity level. All right. So are you guys following me here? Yes or no on the chat? Yes or no on the chat? Are you guys following me here? Like now this is the retest of this liquidity level here. And what are we watching now? Well, a revisit of the next liquidity level. Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Do you like these sessions to be interactive, or should I just explain and let it be? All right. So now it's revisiting. Now is revisiting this liquidity and again, why this retest or why these rejections here are not as interesting now? Well, first, because this liquidity here, Neto, but this is the 5-minute operating range low. Guys, forget about the name tags. Forget about the name tags. Start looking for liquidity. Forget about, oh, this is the previous day high. Well, I mean, yes, nice to meet you, previous day high. Are you a strong liquidity level for supply or demand? Because that's what it's interesting for me. Not your name tag, right? It's your job here on the chart, all right? It's your job here on the chart. I mean, Neto, but this is the 5-minute. This is the 5-minute. Look at all these reactions here. I mean, yes, I can see it. I can see it. But on the big picture here, guys, this liquidity, it looks like randomly sitting in the middle of the real one, right? In the middle of the real one. In the middle of the real one, right? That's why I was not interested in that. And just as I told you, like, if something is interesting for me, it will be the break of the pre-market low. The break of the pre-market low, something like this. Why, Neto, why you are mentioning now the pre-market low? Well, because this reaction here is gonna tell me buyers are done here. All right, buyers are done here. If buyers who push price from this area here, they can't hold this area here, that means something, right? That means something. Then now I'm interested on this move, right? But not before. But Neto, then why you are interested on taking an entry somewhere around here? Well, because now we revisited this liquidity, and what is this seller? What are these sellers telling you? We are not letting you pass here. Let's go grab the next liquidity. And where is the next liquidity, guys? That was easy, right? That was really easy today. I mean, today is really evident here. So that's why I took my trade here. All right, let me leave. All right. Now let me show you. All right. So now, okay, now it's, we look at the reaction here. Look at the strong rejections here. And Neto, but what about this fake out here? Okay, well, now you get me. All right, now you get me. For me to be interested on a move to the other side of liquidity or to the next liquidity point, it needs to show me that these buyers here, buyers sitting here are done, right? We finished these buyers, all right? So that's why I decided, okay, well, after this rejection here, I'm gonna open my position here on this candle where these buyers are done, all right? Where these buyers are done. Do you see? Do you see? So that's why I opened my position here. I opened my position here. And what I was aiming here, next liquidity. Next liquidity. Neto, but it took forever on this chop. Yes, it took forever on this chop. But that's why you take profits on the way down, right? You take profits on the way down because let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. Even when I open my position here, 675.40, let's say, maybe on these candles here, I was kind of break even. Like 40 cents below my entry on these candles here after all this chop, somewhere around here. I was maybe 675. Yeah, I think 675, somewhere like here. I was break even because the chop was eating my premium, all right? But I mean, what can I say? Okay, if price decides to go back to this liquidity point, well, I'm done. I'm closing my trade. I'm accepting uncertainty of this. But if it's still fighting, if it's still looking that it wants to go lower, well, you stay on the market. You stay on your trade. You trust your trade. Neto, how do you trust your trade? Because I've seen this same trade hundreds of times. Hundreds of times. So once you trust in your setup, once you have seen it enough times working out, guys, you stop hesitating. You stop hesitating and starts to be mechanical, right? So Neto, I can't get conviction on this setup just looking at this chart. You need to backtest more. The only way to get conviction on your setup, it's backtesting. The only way to trust your execution, to trust that you can execute your system, your setup, your playbook, it's forward testing, right? So there's no secret here. I know this sounds boring. I know this sounds cliche. But guys, if you need to get conviction on your setup, you need to backtest. If you want to get conviction on how you execute your system, you need to forward test. There's literally no other way unless you get the experience right from the market, right? But that could be the most expensive way to get experience, right? Because if you still don't have a system that works, if you still don't have proof that your system works, if you still don't have the skills to make your system work, guys, I mean, being in the market with real money, that's the most expensive way to get experience, right? So, sorry for this taking so long. Let me go to your questions. I'm sorry. Uh, Declan, how was the first time it retested not good enough? Like this one here? Well, I do have my rule of 10 minutes, right? Um, why is this second rejection a better than the 937 entry? My rule of the 10 minutes. Kumar, Neto, after how many interactions with a zone would you say that the zone is not strong or valid anymore? There's no rule for that, Kumar. I mean, you literally need to to watch it here, to watch how it rejects, right? I mean, there's not a number, right? Especially in the 1 minute, right? Um, Declan, Neto. So no matter how good of a retest you got off the 5 minute low zone, you wouldn't take it, or do you just need to see the reaction of the pre-market low and a hold under the 5 minute? Yes. So some Declan, something that I want to repeat again. All right. Forget about the labels. All right. You know what? Let's turn them off. Oh, this is not. All right. All right, look at this. No labels here. Is it clear? Is it clearer if we don't have labels here? And this is a question for you all, guys. This is a question for you all. If this levels tool is getting into your reasoning of liquidity, turn it off. Turn it off. Maybe it's noise for you. Maybe it's nice for you. Oh, you know what, Neto? I trust a lot on the previous day high and low. Okay, well, turn the others off. Turn off the pre-market high and low. Turn off the 1 minute and the 5 minute. But look at this. I want you to start looking at liquidity instead of the name tags of the key levels. All right. Or look at the key levels. So look at this. I mean, this key level, this 676.30. I mean, guys, that's a key level on the 15-minute chart. This 674.70, look at this. I mean, it's always to the T. Always, I'm sorry, not always. Almost to the T. Almost to the T. I mean, look at the reactions here. All right, guys, if the key levels tool it's getting into your way, for recognizing these, take it off. I mean, focus on price action. All right, focus on price action. All right. Jason, backtesting. Exactly. Uh, you're very welcome, Brett. Eileen, in key levels we trust. Yes, in key levels we trust. Look at this. In key levels we trust. A Benji. I mean, it's a sticker, not a real one. Can you believe that 90% of the days I don't even have my wallet with me? I know that's wrong, but I mean, now you can pay everything with your phone, so I don't have a bill on me. I have €5 here, but I don't even have my wallet with me. That should be my tagline. In key levels we trust. I like it. Can I steal it? Can I steal it, Eileen? Declan, I didn't take that trade because it was the 5 minute low. It just seemed like a good retesting level. Right. Dennis Bengala, Neto took puts 953 below pre-market low, but got stopped out 953. 953. Yeah, you were stopped here. All right. Yeah, well, why here? 953 here. Why here? I mean, there's no displacement here. Yes, it's rejecting this pre-market low, but I don't know. I will be waiting for more reaction to the downside. You know what? Even if you told me like, Neto, I took 954, I think that will be like a better entry here. I mean, none of them work, but I mean, right here, it's like, I don't know, like, I don't like it. Hello, Athith. Did you resolve your issue in the morning for Discord? I didn't. I didn't follow up. Goon took some bad trades today. SPY 944, 955, and 1008. 944, 944 here. Okay. 955 here. And 1008. What is the 1008? Some of you took this one here. Guys, where did you get your stop loss here? In a percentage? Look at this. This actually worked. This actually worked. Pre-market low 674.68. At the top of this candle here, 675.18. That's exactly 50 cents. Look at this. That's exactly 50 cents. Right here. Neto, but what about these candle wicks? Guys, you know I like candle closure, right? I like candle closure. But yes, I mean I understand what happened here. I totally understand, right? Declan, I don't really pay attention to the labels. The zone I like today, it just happened to be the 5-minute low. All right, yeah, and it made sense. It made sense, Declan, right here, right here. It made sense if you are this zooming, right? If you are this zooming, you need to zoom out, look left, right? Zoom out, look left. Because today, look at this. Today's price action or today's plan was all about the pre-market areas. Not even days before, not even weeks before. Just the overnight price action. All right, Eileen, in Europe you only need your phone. Yeah, I know. Yeah, not even my driver's license. The town I'm gonna live in, it's like a very walkable town. So the plan is not even having a car for the first 6 months. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. That's my wife's plan. I'm not sure I can follow through. But well, let me follow that plan. Let's see if we can make it 6 months without a car. I don't know. It just feels so weird. I'm in Texas. I mean, I can't even leave my neighborhood without a car. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna live in a town without a car. What the hell? It's supposed to be the European life. Let's see. Let's see. Uncle Max, do you have a car? And you use it like often? Um, Look, yeah, I gotta love Apple Play. I know. Thank you, Eileen. New phrase for the community. In key levels, we trust. I love it. Um, Acid. Okay, they are looking at it. Goon, you didn't respect your stop loss. Nathan, I took one at the 944 and stop out. One at the 953 too. Randall, SPY puts 1035. Okay. 1035. 1035 here. Okay. Okay. This I like it. Yeah, this I like it. Actually, this is similar to this, right? This 1035. No, 1038. 1035. 1035. You had your stop loss maybe here. That was a win, right, Randall? Looking for this liquidity here. 671.50. Look at this. That was a win, right, Randall? It broke 673.50. All right. Good, Randall. Congrats. Uncle Max, 3 cars. Okay, well, I need you to talk to my wife. we need at least one Tesla. Yeah, and at least. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys. So I think we have a very good idea of SPY. Please make sure, guys, if you join late the this live stream, please go back to the start of this session, because we talk a lot about liquidity, and I think it's worth to just go back here, right? To just go back here, right? What happened with QQQ? Something similar, right? Liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity. Look at this. Maybe this 936, maybe if you had something like this, you actually scratch it a bit, something like this. But I like more this one here, because these are, like sharper moves than this one, right? But this feels kind of the same. All right. QQQ. Anyone took something on QQQ? No. Declan, Neto, so your idea was that there were a lot of buyers at pre-market low, so you didn't want to sell close to that low. Yeah, my idea was that a lot of people were with FOMO about the move from last night, and they wanted, to buy close to pre-market low. So the break of the pre-market low, that was kind of, my first idea. But then once we went higher, uh, story changed, right? Eileen, 957, and Luke, 951. Let's see what you did, guys. This is the 951 here, something like here, all right? Why? Because we retested this liquidity, and now we were aiming to the next ones. Can you see? Actually, QQQ, it's even easier to spot. Uh, let me go here. Okay, QQQ. Nah, well, no. On the 1 minute, it's easier. All right, the 1 minute here. Okay, look at this. Just pre-market, just after hours, liquidity here, break, displacement, retest, support, or demand, right? What happened here? Demand. What happened here? Look at this. Reclaim, demand. Can you see here, guys? When you start looking at the chart with eyes of liquidity, or with like looking only for liquidity, game changer, right? Okay, so here, all right, here, what happened here? That you said, guys, you said 951 here, and Eileen, 957. Oh, 950. All right, 950. Okay, well, this one here. All right, that's great. This is exactly the retest of this liquidity, the break of the 5 minute, and it's heading lower, right? That was a good trade. And exited 958. 958 right here. You chicken out on this rejection on the reaction, all these candles retesting the pre-market low, but couldn't break it, right? You were impatient, yes. Kumar, I got stuck in the chop in QQQ today, kept losing the premium. Yes. Yeah, so that was the thing, right? That was the thing. That good move, consolidation, another move, consolidation, another move, consolidation, another move. And let's see how he ends, right? IWM. Can you see same things here? Well, this is actually a nice on the pre-market low. But the pre-market low, look at this. It was resistance, support, now resistance again. All right. So IWM, really nice trade here. If you want to follow the same idea than in the other names, you can look at this, and you can look maybe at this. or this. Yeah. Oh, something like this. I think something like this. Can you see here, guys? Liquidity, 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 liquidity. One liquidity to the other. One liquidity to the other. Right? Um, what is this? AMD, AMD, not so clear. Maybe these ones here, you were fake out. If someone was looking for AMD, maybe you were fake out or something like this. Looking for the gap fill. Guys, I have a question for you. Why this is not a good idea? Why this is not a good idea here? Why it's not a good idea trading AMD today? Brax, that's a good question. I already trimmed my position and the trade was not invalidated. The trade was not invalidated, right? DC, you took IWM 1015, but I didn't hold it long. I'm starting to find good place now, but after years of losing my trauma causing me to cut positions to earn. All right. AMD, no, because we are right in the middle. Look at this, right in the middle of this yellow box. Let me show you here. This yellow box, if we go to the daily, it was a huge gap from earnings. Look at this. From earnings, it was February the 3rd. We took this gap here, and we have been closing this gap slowly, right? We have been closing this gap slowly. But now, I mean, we are right in the middle of the gap. Right in the middle of the gap. So remember what we talk about looking at the market in sequences. So what is going on right now? Right now it's doing nothing. Right now it's doing nothing. So you don't want to be in this chop. All right, you don't want to be in this chop. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon, that was look at this, guys. I actually draw this on purpose. I wanted you to be very clear with everything we talk about liquidities. About liquidity. All right? From one liquidity to the other. From one liquidity to the other. All right? Amazon. All right? Let's go to the next one. Let's do the same. Let's do the same thing. All right? Resistance, support, resistance again. Do you see? From one liquidity to the other. From one liquidity to the other. From one liquidity to the other. Do you see? What was the final premium percentage you got on the last scale after all the chop on SPY? 60% or something like that. All right. Tesla. From one liquidity to the other. Do you see? From this liquidity to the next one. All right. Neto, would you take this trade? Not after this drop. For being honest, not after this drop. But I mean, again, what I wanted is you to see how liquidities are working here. All right. Let me tell you something, Brax. I closed my trade on these candles here. Why? Because I was a bit frustrated after this chop, and I didn't want to participate on more chop. So I closed my position here, and my best contracts were on these candles here, 60%. I got I got 1 quarter in my position here. It was like 30% or something like that. Then I got more here on this one. Then I got more this one in here, and I ended closing around 40% here. Again, I didn't want to participate on this all this chop. And all right, guys. So that was all. That was all. I want to make it super clear. I want to make it super clear. It's not about being good at drawing key levels. I mean, you will get to that point eventually, right? It's not about being good identifying all the liquidity levels. You will get to that point eventually. It's about having a system to execute every single day. I I remember this morning I was reading different trading communities. I was reading Twitter. I was reading even one of my coaches saying, "Guys, today is not a good day to trade because many people is gonna get FOMO from last night move." And I just stayed neutral. I just stayed calm, and what I was doing is just looking at my setup, looking to execute my system, because that's my system works in any environment, after news, before earnings, after Jerome Powell, before Trump. I mean, my setup works this way. And if by any chance some news drop and my setup is broken, I have another system in place, my risk management system. All right. So, again, if you can consistently stick to your way to execute, guys, I guarantee that you will start having consistent results. But if you are trading one way today and a different way tomorrow and a different way the next Monday, you are gonna be always inconsistent. You need to have your own system and to follow your own system. All right. So, guys, again, if you need some help with that, please go visit the link that I have for you pinned on the comments, workshop.tradingperformancecoach.com, and just let me know if that's exactly what you need, and I will see you tomorrow morning with the new charts. All right. Thank you guys for everything. Talk to you later. Bye.